Do you remember being with me in this field before? It was back in the month of May for Rogation Sunday. We were praying for God's blessing upon the seed time in the hope for a bountiful harvest. Well, look around this field now. With the help of the summer showers, the bright golden sunshine and the nutrients of the soil, all summer long this maize has been quietly growing and getting ready for that special day where everything culminates together in harvest. This was me in the same field back in May when we were all still in national lockdown. I think you will agree, there has been a good growth over this summer. We do indeed thank God for the hard-working farmers who continue to provide for our country in the midst of a pandemic. Harvest is the pinnacle and pivotal time before which farmers can feel quite anxious that a whole summer's growth could be lost. And it can happen. If you remember back to Storm Ophelia, fields like this were levelled to the ground by the power of the wind. Such are the adversities that our farming folk can face. It's hard to fully appreciate the pleasure and satisfaction tinged with relief that comes when the last tractor leaves the field and the field gate is closed. In today's parable, it's at that point when the landowner approaches the vineyard workers to collect what was rightfully his. But the tenant sees his representatives beating one, killing another, and stoning another. The landowner wants his rights recognized and respected, so he decides to send his own son. It turns out the parable predicts Jesus' own death and acts as a warning to all those who want to possess everything for themselves. Instead, we are to produce the fruit of the kingdom and give God the glory at harvest time. How can we do that? First, it's good to remember, as my own father once said to me, we are only stewards of all we have. It's never ours to keep. This was the mistake of those greedy tenants, wanting to retain all for themselves. When we know we are but stewards or tenants, like in the parable, then we know our place on this planet. Second, it's good to remember to whom all this belongs. Like in Psalm 19, even the heavens declare the handiwork of God. In the news this week from Finland, Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights, have been a wonderful spectacle of God's handiwork. Likewise, every field, every mountain, every river, every lake, all belongs to our Creator who provides the soil, the water and the sunshine. Then third, we give honour to God's Son, Jesus. Paul, as we know from our epistle reading today, had considerable religious prowess. However, he considered all these accolades as cow poo compared to knowing Jesus. In Jesus, he was taking hold of an inheritance that can never fade or perish. And like in today's parable, religion can reek of self-interest, like cow poo. However, knowing Jesus speaks of a good life with an eternal prize. Like Paul, we live to know and be like Jesus. We hope for a harvest when all the people of the world will be safely gathered into God's kingdom. So let's continue to pray that all the harvest will be safely gathered in. that when this field gate is finally closed after the last tractor leaves, we turn in thanksgiving and give glory to the one who created us, is keeping us, and who will save us. Like Paul, may we live to know Jesus more and more every day. Amen.